Okay. Soul evolution is ascension. It's enlightenment, and it is evolving on a spiritual realm. So everybody should understand that the beings that we are right now, we are human beings, but we are human beings that have souls. And when we die in this human being physical universe, our souls leave our bodies and go into the ether and carry on to the next life. Evolution happens when you mend the past life experiences that you were meant to experience and overcome to gain higher wisdom to evolve to a next level. So, I'm going to just give you the rundown of these bullet points that I have written down right now, and then I'm going to just free roll and tell you guys exactly what I mean by what I'm saying. So, soul evolution is change, it's expansion, and it's evolving. Wait, did I write that right? Yeah. Also, it's elevation, being elevated to a higher source, higher power, higher consciousness. The realities of the physical universe contradict the realities of the spiritual realm. And that is because the spiritual realm is like God. It is God. So the spiritual realm is the truth of what happens and what everything means, not the physical universe of perspectives and feelings and all of that kind of stuff that make things fabricated. So, for example, if in a bigger picture of a situation, somebody robbed another person of their money, like they went in the alley, they beat them up, and they stole their purse, basically, and stole their money. Boom. So in the bigger picture, that is what happened. This person beat up this other person and stole their money. Boom. Flat out, that is wrong. The person who beat the other person up and stole their money is in the wrong, morally. Open ended. But that's in the spiritual realm. In the physical realm, this is what happened. So the guy or the person who stole the money and beat the other person up, technically, he was going through a lot. He didn't have anything to eat. And he had grew up in a household where violence was always the answer. So he became a violent person. And when he needed something, he liked to steal because he was taught to steal growing up. That's what he had to do to survive. So from his perspective, he was doing what he had to do to survive by stealing this person's money because he needed something to eat. That's his perspective. From the person who got beat up and robbed, from their perspective, they was just minding their business. They just got off of work and they was taking a shortcut home through the alley because it was faster to get home and it was nighttime. And on their way home, they got jumped from out the blue and somebody beat them up. And the next thing they knew, their money was gone that they had just worked hard at their waitress job. So now they don't have money to take home to their kid, to put food in their kid's mouth. And they're sad and they don't know what to do. That's from their perspective. So both perspectives is what happened for the other person. But in all reality, what had happened was something morally wrong. He beat up somebody and he stole from somebody. It wasn't his. He had no right to it. That is what happened. So, on going with this analogy, she doesn't do anything. She doesn't try to find him. She just accepts it. And, she goes to work the next day and makes that money back. Boom. Now she putting food in her kid's mouth, the money going towards her kids where it was supposed to go the first time. She just learned the lesson that she doesn't need to walk through the alley at nighttime by herself. And that she should probably put her money somewhere different. So just in case somebody try to rob her, they don't get all her money. So from this experience, she just elevated went to a higher consciousness because she realized something she needed to do differently. Going on still with this same analogy, this guy used the money and he bought him some food and he bought him some new clothes and everything. So now he looked clean and now he walking around the streets. He don't feel bad for what he did because now he's okay. He's doing good. He's doing better than what he was doing the other day. But now this guy has karma, bad karma, that's going to come back around to him because he, in a situation where he could have learned to evolve and to go out and get his own money, go out and do things on his own, go ask for help instead of stealing and hurting people. He chose the lower realm of violence, theft, and wrong morals. Excuse me. So now he has a bad karma and he did not elevate. His soul is not elevating. He is staying in a lower realm. And in religion, we call lower realm what they call lower realm hell and higher realm heaven. But in spirituality and in soul evolution, it's realms. It's like levels. You know how they say, oh, it's levels to this ish? Because it is. Heaven and hell is on earth because it is the vibration of where you stand on a soul level. If you do bad things, you stay by the bad things. You get bad things. If your morals are wrong, you cannot elevate to the next level and get the blessings of a person who's elevated their soul to that next level for them blessings that they're going to get. So you stay on the lower level where you got to keep learning the same lesson over and over and over again until your soul finally realizes it's time to elevate and evolve and do something different. What? Why is somebody calling me? That's weird. Decline.
To work at 11. It's 8 o'clock a.m.
I'm so surprised that it stayed on. I can't believe I could change tabs and go to a different one. Why everything trying to see? When you doing what's right, when you doing the good stuff, like when you doing the good stuff, everything on this physical earth, on this physical realm, this physical universe, it will try to distract you. So first off, before I start even going into the rest of this, let me explain how I view the Bible. So, in my opinion, the Bible isn't teaching us to worship Jesus, to worship something that we don't know really what it is. It's not telling us that. The Bible is man-made and it's a guide in life to help your soul evolve. Just like Jesus evolved and had enlightenment in his soul, we are to be like Jesus. Jesus is our brother in Christ. We are supposed to lead by example. His example was to be morally right and to do what's right and to fight for what's right on a soul level. Because what happens on this earth is bigger than what the naked eye can understand and meet, what our brains and our human consciousness can always, handle. There's something bigger always going on. Always. And for example, my perspective, the titles that people have in this world, these man-made titles, are not the spiritual. It's not the bigger picture. So the title of a mother, the title of, mother and father, I kind of get that, but at the same time, no. Aunt, uncle, sister, brother, police officer, lawyer, janitor, teacher, all of these man-made titles of how the world, human-wise, decided to make the system work, which is the wrong way. It's very wrong. It's very corrupt. It's very wrong. Very slave-like. All of that does not matter on a spiritual level. And evolving is understanding that at all times we are on a spiritual level. So just because someone is older than you or someone has a title above you or towards you, doesn't make them automatically right in their morals, in their soul. That doesn't make them right. So if you in your soul feel like someone is telling you something wrong, or you're doing something good and they're telling you it's wrong, and you're like, wait, what is wrong? Like, why is it wrong? And they're telling you that it's wrong only because it's going to affect them some type of way, you are right, and it's okay. That's why kids get told that they are mature and that they have an old soul. I like the term having an old soul better than telling someone that they're mature for their age, because that's how weirdos try to get with kids. I'm not going to lie. And that's why I don't like that saying. But I love the saying, you have an old soul, because that is referring to your evolution. For a child to have an old soul means that that child has lots of wisdom. And for that child to naturally have lots of wisdom, that child is going to grow into something amazing for this world. They have a bigger purpose in this world. Because the physical realm, the matrix, the simulation is trying to suppress what God and the universe has tried to create all of these years. And that is exactly why in 2020, the world went through what it went through. That is exactly why up until 2030, the world will be going through what it's going to go through. It's just a natural detox. That's why it happened in the 1920s. That's why it happened in the 1820s, and so on and so forth. Because it's a natural detox. Because when the earth is elevating, when the universe starts elevating and going through new cycles and stuff, anything that isn't in the same spectrum of realms as the universe at that time, it gets cut off. Time is an illusion, but the motion of what time is trying to show us is this. It's like in a game. If you ever played Mario Brothers, if you ever played that video game with Mario, the one that goes fast, the one that the screen moves on its own as you're running and you can't go back. It's like that. When the end of time is speeding up and coming towards you and you're not ready to keep going, it's going to surpass you. And then that's the end of time. So you're right here while it's passing you and you're not elevating. You're not going any further. Nothing. You have to go. And that sounds so crazy, but that is really what happens. And we are souls and energy can't be destroyed or created. So death is always rebirth. That is why people find themselves learning the same karmic lesson over and over again. Because just because you didn't learn it in this lifetime and you ignored it and you didn't want to admit to it and all this kind of stuff doesn't mean that your next lifetime is going to go away. No, it just means that you're going to get cut off from this chance that you just had to be a better person this time. You're getting cut off and you're going to have to go through the stages of reincarnation over again and get born again and have to do everything all over again. And that is why I believe in reincarnation. Because souls are energy. We are energy and we cannot be destroyed or created. Not ultimately. And that, in every aspect of that, should make everybody who understands that feel some type of way, because there was a beginning. That essentially says that there was never a beginning and there's never an end. And if there's never an end, what is going to happen? If time is an illusion, where are we? What is going on for real? So when does it ever stop? Like what? And when it does stop, or if it never stops, like what is the process of all of this? Thinking. Our brains is our biggest power. Our brains is our power. Our soul is our existence. That's why we exist, is because of our souls. And the power of the brain that we get to incarnate with this time is what our difference is. That's our power. Like we literally have powers. Just not the ones that they showcase on TV. TV exaggerates the visualization of everything that we go through really in life. And that is because simple minds cannot understand just speaking. Simple minds cannot understand just reading. Like the Bible, if you are the type of person who read the Bible to memorize verses and you don't actually understand exactly how that verse applies to what you are going through in your life right now, what is really going on in the world right now, you're not doing it right. Because the Bible isn't for us to memorize all the verses. The Bible isn't for us to worship the man that Jesus was. Is to learn from the man that Jesus was and to respect him as the man that he was, the man who gained enlightenment from our Father, the Holy Spirit, the universe, the source. He evolved. His soul and his consciousness evolved. Enlightenment and ascension is the key purpose and the key task that we have as humans on this earth right now. Our job is to evolve and to ascend to higher consciousness. And doing that means that we have to mend every single thing that we've been through, every past experience as a collective, as an individual. First, you do it as an individual. And that has everything to do with your upbringing. That has everything to do with your first home, the home you were born into, the family you were born into, the bigger aspect of the family that God created you into in this lifetime, that bloodline. That is why people was breaking generational curses right now. That is why people are going through spiritual awakenings right now. That's why people are on their soul journey. We're all on our soul journey at all times. But that is why people are more conscious of the fact that they are on a journey and they're doing better. Anytime an older person is trying to degrade a younger person in their dreams, that younger person should have sense enough to look at that older person minus any title that they might have over them, might have with them. Look at that person and think that at the age that they are, do they have anything on this planet that if they was to die at that same second that they was telling you not to go for your dreams and not to do the things that you want to do in life, if they was to die at that second, what did they leave behind on this earth that said that they was here, that let the world know that they was here years after the fact that they died? And if you silent with that, if you can't figure out anything of what they put on this earth to let people know that they was here when they died, don't listen to that person. You ain't got to be rude and be like, no, you're wrong or anything. You don't have to be rude or anything. But discernment is our first superpower. Take the information in and disregard any of the information that is the wrong information. Because I'm not saying that older people can't give you wisdom. I'm not saying that older people aren't going to tell you all of the things that they went through and what they found out wasn't true and all of that kind of stuff. But that is their story. And you don't know what type of battles they fought in their life. You don't know what type of morals they had deep down inside in their life. So if you come up to your parent and you're like, yeah, I want to be a singer, Mom. Can you put me in singing classes? Can you take me to this audition? I want to be in this movie, da da da. And your parents like, no, what is you talking? Like, you ain't gonna do that. That's you not a celebrity, like all of that. Somebody else gonna get it. You're not gonna get it, da da da. If they're degrading what you want to do at a young age, just know when you get older, that parent relationship is gonna go away. It's gonna fail because when you become an adult, actually, because you have the sense and you have the mind capacity as a child, but because you're not an adult yet, you have to wait till you're an adult because then y'all are equal. Y'all are brother and sister in Christ. So becoming 18 isn't, oh, you're an adult. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want to do. You got to get out your mom's house. You got to go do this. You got to do this, this, and this. Around 18 is when the good souls, the souls that were told, you have an old soul. 18 is when they can finally express themselves and put their stamp and put their foot down for what they believe in and what they stand for, without having to back down like a child when an adult is coming at them the wrong way. Now they're grown. Now they're old enough to put their foot down. You will not talk to me like this, and you will not treat me this way. Anybody out there going through that right now? Fighting for their respect and their dignity and a family? Discernment is the best thing that you can do. Discernment is the best thing that you can put in your mind and gain power with. Because personally, in my experience, how things have happened, when the family generational curse breaker gets to the age where they're putting their foot down, everybody in the family goes against them. They try to disown them, which don't ever, if you are this person, don't ever let that get you down. Don't ever let the fact that your parents don't want to be parents to you. Don't ever let the fact that your cousins don't want to be family. Don't ever let the fact that your aunt and uncle don't want to support you. Don't ever let the fact that the family you were born into does not support you and is not on the same level as you. Don't ever let that get you down. Because at the end of the day, even though you was born into their family on a physical universe realm, they're your family. On the spiritual realm, you are way higher than that. You are way more than what people have tried to box you into. You have a bigger purpose, and they're intimidated by that. And that is their own problem, not yours. Do not let anybody get you down and distract you from your dreams and distract you from the bigger things that you know you were put on this earth to do. Because misery loves company. That is the truest statement. I promise you. And they can do it, and they do it unconsciously too, because if they were more conscious, they would know that anything that they're doing like that is wrong. They would know that. If someone is morally doing things that is very bad, wrong, and all of that, evil, you need to be away from them anyway. Anybody who is elevating their soul, who know for a fact that they are doing what is right, who know for a fact they are finding their true selves and their authenticity, and they feel how their family is now mistreated, well, probably been mistreating them, but they're woke now to the fact that they've been being mistreated, it is okay to let them go. Because one bad floorboard will sink the ship. That is why they had to get those bad apples off the ship, because the ship was going to sink. Because people didn't believe, and because people had bad intentions and bad morals, the karma was going to come towards that ship, because the karma needed to get all of the people that was gone. That was needed to be gone. God was coming to take everybody that was needing to be gone. So that's why then people had to get put off the ship. They was going to make the ship sink. All of the good people that was on there, the ship started sinking because somebody was bad. So they had to figure out who was the bad person, who was the bad seed. And the sooner they figured it out, the sooner they began to evolve and elevate back up and stop sinking. So either in this realm, either this is how it's going to go. The good person versus the bad people. The bad people are either going to swallow up the good person and make them drown, or the good person is going to stop being attached to the anchor of the bad people, and they're going to evolve. And once that good person is put out of the way and has evolved and it is in a whole different spectrum, and they got away from this, and all of the bad seeds are in one, that is exactly when karma can come and boom, take them out. Take them out. Because in the boat, they didn't have to start sinking slowly. They started sinking slowly because it was good people on the boat. And they had a time frame to get away from the bad people, to get the bad people out of their boat, out of their ship. So as they're sinking, at first they probably didn't even realize that they were sinking. Then once they started realizing they were sinking, they're like, wait, why am I sinking? Why are we sinking? We're good. We're the good ones. No. Check your crew. Go examine your crew. somebody needs to go. Found out who need to go. You need to go because you're sinking my ship. Goodbye. Goodbye. So I do want to explain the 4 levels that I just wrote down. And I got these from, so I'm going to let credit go where credit is due. The 12 Secret Laws of Self-Realization by Keirra Shiva. A Guide to Enlightenment and Ascension by a Modern Mystic. So the levels that Keirra, I don't know if that's how you say the name, but that's how I'm going to read it. There's 4 levels, and the first level is lower. The 4th level is higher. So think about it like boom, 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 boom. The first level, the lower level, is a level of survival. It's an animal mind, an animal instinct. This is what most people are in the world. Their mindset is based on survival, it's based on physical things, and it's based on reproduction. They think that a baby is going to save their life. But really what is happening, in all reality, you are giving life to a child. The child is not giving you life. You are giving life to that child. And that is why a lot of people hate their kids, because they had the mentality, the animal mentality, that something false was going to happen when they had this kid. Instead of them getting ready to be parents, they decided, you know what, that is a different conversation, because that can get heated. And I most definitely am on the heated side of this conversation. So I'm going to continue. The second level is the level of religion. These are the souls who are faithful in invisible deities. They're faithful to a higher power and a higher source that is invisible to them, and that is restricting them from finding their true power within themselves. Because like I said, we are to be like Jesus and find enlightenment, the power within ourselves, the power to make big changes ourselves, our legacies that we are leaving on this earth, to let the earth in the future know that we were here. Level 2 is also a fear of punishment. So they're being feared that they're going to be punished. And it's because this level of religion, their repenting isn't how repenting works when you get into level 3 and level 4. And that is, I'm not going to lie, that conversation is very, very long and deep too. So we're not going to get into that conversation in this video all the way. I will speak on it later on, a little bit in the video, but not fully. Level 3, which I love this level because level 3 is exactly what was going on in 2020. Level 3 is spirituality. The feel good, even though it wasn't feel good at first, it wasn't. That first awakening, that is not a feel good thing. That is all about repentance. And that is why I said that is a big topic of fear of punishment and all that kind of stuff. That's why that's a big topic, because, woo, baby. And this is called the yogic teaching. Everybody know what yoga is. Now, if you think yoga is just the ones when you stretch and you doing child pose and you doing this and doing this, and you don't know that yoga is a very spiritual activity, hobby. It has lots to do with breath work. It has lots to do with relaxing your body into positions and into things that you didn't know was possible. Honestly, at first, unless you were in gymnastics, then you know. But just the beginning of gymnastics, you ain't know at first. And level 4 is the beyond, the high one. Level 4, after spirituality, is the beyond. It's the independent soul that has reached enlightenment and ascension fully. Because it doesn't end at level 4. Level 4 is just the beginning of a never-ending evolution. Ooh, cool. When your soul reaches its independent state, technically that is like the adulthood of the soul. So while a soul can be an old soul, which means it is an adult and it has learned adult lessons in their past lives, there's always going to be more. That is why time is never ending. That is why energy cannot be destroyed or created, because it will forever continue on a cycle. You know, the picture of the snake in a circle and it's eating its tail, and it's like, well, how does that work? That is because it's never ending. It's ongoing. There's always room for more. There's always room for a higher purpose. There's always room for a higher consciousness. There's always room for more elevation and evolution. There's always more. And that is why reincarnation is real, because you got to keep going. You keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. Growing your consciousness has everything to do with mending your experiences on this planet. So while a child might recognize at a young age that things aren't right and that things could be more and they could be more and they could do more, there's always going to be things that hinder them. If they don't have parents who already have elevated their soul and went through evolution and enlightenment, if they don't have parents like that, and you will know if you do, because if you do, your parents, and this topic is a very, like, I'm saying this on a spiritual realm sense, not a physical world sense, because physical people will be very hurt by this next statement that I'm about to say. But you will know if you were born into an elevated family, into a family that had evolved their soul already and went through ascension, because it will be a 2-parent household that you were born into, where your parents match up very perfectly. They're both intelligent. They're both wise beyond everything. Their feelings never override the reality, because they already went through their ascension. And when you go through your ascension, you're going to know that you have a soulmate out there, because when females go through their ascension, they're not looking for anybody but their soulmate. So every guy that comes their way with red flags and they can already tell that it's not going to work out, they're not going to pursue that. I'm a female, so I can speak for females. Males, I haven't met a male who is elevated and elevated like that. I haven't met anybody like that. But I know that I'm on my journey, so my soulmate is going to be a male who has elevated his soul. And I know how twin flames work, and the yin and yang and opposite attract and everything, because I am on my elevation and my soul evolution, and I'm up there. My soulmate is out there doing the same thing that I am doing on his own, in his own way, in his masculine way, however he is supposed to do his. He is doing his the same way I am doing mine at this moment. And when we both get to the point where it's time for us to meet and to create, it will be perfect, because we have both been through ascension. And then the family that we create and the legacy that we create is going to be something of God, of a higher power, a higher consciousness, because we elevate it. Not to put anybody down if they haven't done that, because you can still evolve and you can still find your life is, if you can watch this right now, your life isn't over. No matter how old you think you are, age really doesn't matter. Age matters, yes it does, but it doesn't. Oh, that sounds very contradicting. On a physical plane, age matters. On a spiritual realm, it doesn't matter. There's no such thing. Because on the spiritual realm, technically, all of us are billions of years old. We should be. Energy can't be destroyed or created. So whatever was from the start is still existing now. The start. And a message to anybody who is like myself, a quote unquote child, a young person who know that they are on their spiritual journey, who know that they are evolving and have been evolving, especially in this last year since COVID started. Please continue to be your authentic self. Please continue to be spiritual. Please continue to know that you have a bigger purpose in this world. We are doing great things. We are the leaders of the new world. Don't let simple-minded people who don't even have their own spirituality in check detour you from the bigger picture of what is going on in the world right now. This is almost like the other sonic boom. Boom. Because the bad seeds, the lower realm, and all of that, they're getting their karma. Karma is very much coming back around. And karma works when the truth and the reality starts getting deconstructed. Well, the false realities, starts getting deconstructed. Because when you learn what really happened in life, not feelings-wise, not hiding anything or anything like that, when you learn the true reality of the things that actually happen in the world, things start getting different. Things start being different and weird. And then it's like once you start, it's like peeling paint off the wall. Once you start peeling the paint off the wall, you cannot stop because it's never going to seem right, because now you just need to peel all the paint off the wall, because now it's a big circle where no paint is at on the wall. And it's like, ooh, ooh. When you gain higher wisdom from learning from past life experiences, the negative kind especially, it opens your mind up to the endlessness and to the potential of the future. And birds of a feather do flock together. So, like I said earlier in this video, if you find yourself in an environment where everyone goes against you, that environment isn't for you, and it shouldn't hurt you to leave it behind. Family or not, people you've known for 10 years or not, if y'all morals aren't the same, y'all don't belong together. If they're dragging you down and you feel that, you don't deserve to be together. If you find yourself in some type of relationship where you're giving your all and it's never enough for that other person and they never appreciate it and it's negatively impacting you, that is a dead relationship. You need to cut that off. When you get red flags about people, please understand that those first red flags are telling you, letting you know intuitively that if you continue on this path with this person, it is going to all end horribly. Something bad is going to happen. And that is exactly why you should listen to your intuition. That is exactly why your gut feeling is always right. If you meet somebody and something they say or something they start doing, it's like, what? Why? I don't mess with that. If you ignore that sense that you already had and continue to be around that person, do not be mad when things start going left and when something bad happens, because your intuition, your guide within yourself let you know that that person wasn't for you. If when you become old enough to start having your own opinions and your own thoughts and all of this and your own beliefs and everything, and your family doesn't agree with you, or they try to make you change, or they try to tell you that, Like they try to degrade you, basically. They're trying to degrade you and your morals and your belief. And you know that you're standing in a power of integrity, good morals, and everything. That is your foreshadow that they do not belong in anything that you are going to pursue in the future. And the longer that you stay around them, the longer that you don't heed the red flags, the more it's going to take away from your life. So if you have big dreams and big goals and the people around you can't see that same dream and that same big goal that you are envisioning for yourself, even if you're envisioning for them too, because people like to be in competition so bad. If you was really my family, you should know that anything that I'm eating, you can come at my table. If I'm eating and you with me, you supposed to eat too. But that's when God will tell you who ain't going to be able to sit at that table that he is creating for you. Anybody who tries to degrade you, anybody who tries to make it seem like they're better than you, or that you are nothing, or that you have no potential, they don't deserve a seat at your table. If your family constantly puts you down, and you know for a fact that you feel in your heart that you need to be doing something in life and that you can do great things in life, you're a great person, they are not going to be able to sit at the table that God is going to bless you with. God isn't creating this big old opportunity for you to let somebody else ruin it. And that's exactly why you have to cut them off. All the bad seeds, all the red flags, you have to make boundaries. You have to be strong enough. When you ask God and you ask the universe and you ask yourself to be a better person and a bigger person and to be somebody great, you have to be willing to make sacrifices and do the things that you have to do for the person that you are trying to become. Like, for example, me. If I want to be a lawyer, if I want to be a judge, why ever in my life would I make people think that I was okay with rape, molestation, stealing, ill morals? Why would I ever let anybody in their life think that I was okay with that in my life? If that is my goal to be in a court of law, to be a judge, to be a lawyer, why would I surround myself with criminals? Why would I surround myself with people with bad intentions and bad morals? That don't make sense. If you want to be a star, if you want to be a celebrity, and you're around a bunch of people who don't even believe that stuff like that happens and that a normal person can't do that, all of those celebrities are normal people. They're humans just like us. It's who was willing to put the work in and whose family helped them put the work in. So all of the child actors and child stars that we see on TV, their parents helped them. In lower realms, parents see their kids as competition and never want to help their kids do better than what they did in life. They'll tell them, oh, yeah, I want you to do better than what I did because, But when it comes time for them to help them do better and be better and create a legacy, they don't never want to help. They want to see that as a competition. They want to see that as something bad. And that is why, like I said, on a spiritual realm, that family title stuff, that don't matter. That don't matter because there's always going to be good seeds and there's always going to be bad seeds. There's always going to be evil and there's always going to be good. And I'm sorry, but if your family don't have a legacy already created, more than likely they was bad seeds. There's no way in hell somebody 30 years old and don't have no money. 30 years old and don't own no house. 30 years old, don't own nothing. You 30 years old on... They will try to put it in your head. Oh, you can't be a billionaire. You can't be a millionaire. You can't do this because it's impossible. It's not going to happen for you. It doesn't work like that. It didn't work like that for you. But I bet you it's going to work like that for me. But that's where your discernment come in. Because on a true soul evolution, you will understand that violence is never the answer. Arguing with people, going blue in the face, trying to explain yourself to people who will never understand you. that is all irrelevant. It's all a waste of your time. Leave people where they want to be. If somebody don't want to be in your life, let them go. Goodbye. Do not hold on to people who are trying to drag you down. They're going to smile in your face when you're doing good, and when you have something to offer to them, they will smile in your face and be fake as hell, and then go talk about you behind your back. The same people, let me stop cussing. The same people, when you doing good, that'll come to your party and come drink up all your alcohol and come drink up and eat up all your food and come bask in the essence of what you created, those same people go back and talk about you behind their back when they doing bad. When you ain't doing nothing for them, when you ain't offering them nothing, they're going to go back and behind your back and talk about you. Like, for example, look within your family dynamic. Are you the child of the parent that the rest of the family don't like only on certain occasions because they have something to offer? Or are you a child of the family, or the part of the family that talk about the person in the family that is doing good? So, for example, let's say your auntie is doing good. Your auntie, she married, she got her own things going on. She got businesses, she do good, like she got money. She look good, like she doing good in life. From your perspective, you as a child, you looking at everybody and you just notice she's doing good in life. She is doing good. Something about her is different from what I've seen everybody else doing. She's doing good. But while your perspective is that this person is doing good, you hear all of the rest of the family talking about her, saying this and this about her, trying to degrade her character. But what you saw was she's doing good. She got money. She got a house. She got a car. She doing good. She looked like something that you would aspire to want to be like. But you hear everybody talking about her. Not when she's there, though. Not when she's there. Because when she's there, she's nice to everybody. She's saying hello to everybody. She's inviting them to her party, to her wedding, to her everything. She's inviting them everywhere. And she's being nice. And that's what you see. And they all being nice now that she's here. Yes, I want to go, girl. Yes, I want to come to your house. Yes, I want to come to your party. Yes, I want to come to your wedding. Yeah. Then she leave. Of course I'm going. I don't like her, but she don't have all the good stuff there. She be getting expensive stuff. She da-da-da-da. All the things that they're going to benefit from. They was just smiling in her face. And when she left, they was talking behind her back. You see the fact that she's doing good. Yet they're trying to degrade her character. Are you part of that? Are you around that type of family? That type of family? Or are you the kid of a person who in some type of way did better than the rest of their family, and you got spoiled? You got treated like, how a child is supposed to be treated and pampered. And for some reason you're growing up and you wonder why you feel all of this secret animosity and these weird vibes coming from people on the rest of the family. And you're like, why is they being weird to me? Like, why do they feel like that? Why do I feel like they hate me for some reason? Like, why do I feel like me being who I am is wrong? Like, why do I feel like that? People telling themselves energy don't lie. Energy does not lie. And people have their own life path of what they're supposed to succeed in life. So don't get me wrong about that. So everybody's success isn't going to look like a 6-figure bank account. It's not always going to be the success of looking from the outside like you have your shit together. Because a lot of people that look like they got their shit together from the outside don't really have their shit together, because we are all human. We're all fighting battles. We're all here to learn from karmic situations. We're all here on the same plane. We're equal. But like I'm saying, how you present yourself on the outside and how things seem from the outside has a big thing to do with what people are going to respect you like, what people are going to talk about you like, and all that kind of stuff. You know, somebody's success could be the fact that they're a single parent and they haven't done any drugs, they don't drink, they go to work and they get their shit done so that their kids got food and a roof over their head. And that was their part of success. Success look different depending on the person. So I'm not trying to degrade anybody's success of what they've been through and how they got through what they've been through, because like I said, there's levels to everything. But for those people who really are just wrong and immorally like evil, God do not like ugly. And I don't mean the invisible God that nobody can see. I mean the God of the higher source and the higher power of what we all create in this world through our souls and our evolution. When I started off on my soul evolution and when I started elevating, now that I'm further along on my journey and I'm, you know, doing things and I'm more aware, I'm more consciously like open to everything that happens and everything that's going on. Especially the fact that as above, so below is so true. The first coping mechanism that I started having was through numerology and astrology. Like I said, as above, so below. And I do want to share that passion with other people because it helped me, especially in the beginning of my stages. And still to this day, I can look at all my numbers. I can look at my schedule, my thing, and it makes more sense to me each and every time that I look at it, because the more that I go through life, the more things that I'm involving as and stuff like that. What the heck? Y'all, in the world, like, this stuff is crazy. This spiritual stuff is amazing. I'm not gonna say it's crazy, but it's bizarre. A lot of things that you would never, ever, ever in your life imagine happens in this world. But like I was saying, yeah, numerology, for me, numerology most definitely is the bomb. And I love numerology. I love getting to know it. I'm all about numbers, and that's probably exactly why I've always been better at math my whole life. I was 2 grade levels ahead of math in school since first grade. I got put in tag talented and gifted, but only for math. The rest of them was in there for everything, and I was only in there for math, but that was okay. So like I said, numbers is my thing. I'm fine with that. I understand numbers, which turned out to really come in handy when all of this stuff started happening in 2020, when I went through what I went through at 18. It was bizarre. It was so much confirmation that all of the things that I've ever thought in my life, when things started getting bad and when people started treating me bad, and I'm like, why do they treat me like this? Because I have so much to offer. I know I'm doing great things. I'm supposed to be somebody great. I'm supposed to do something. I'm doing something. I'm somebody. And everybody was treating me like I wasn't. But deep down inside, I knew. And now I'm an adult and I take care of myself, and I'm putting my foot down because there ain't nobody on this earth going to disrespect me. Nobody is going to disrespect me. Because the legacy that I'm leaving behind will be great. Like I said, see or ask somebody, anybody trying to degrade you, because you're younger than them. So if you was to die today, what on this planet, and other people don't matter, I mean, don't count. So if you had kids, them kids don't count, because them kids is going to grow up and be their own person. So you leaving behind kids is not something to, like, that's not your legacy. Like, it's your legacy as in bloodline and ancestry, stuff like that. Like, in a way, for the physical world, okay, a little bit. But exactly, what did you put on this earth? Everybody know who Beyonce is. Everybody know who Whitney Houston is. Everybody know who Jennifer Lopez is. Everybody know who Martin Luther King Jr. is. Everybody know who Abraham Lincoln is. George Washington. Everybody heard the name Christopher Columbus. All of these people, when they die, their name is known. That they was here is going to be known. What have you done on this planet that if you was to die today or tomorrow, lets the world know that you was here? If you cannot answer that, if they cannot answer that, if you cannot look at somebody and answer that question for them, that right there should just show you and tell you, like, there's always something bigger. It's always something bigger going on. Be part of the bigger. Don't be part of the small-minded, simple people. Don't. And being part of the bigger, of course, the bigger is that so-called 1%. Of course, the world is going to be against you because the world is filled up of more of the bad seeds. Fear is an illusion. To a bigger person, fear is strength. And if you ever feel like someone's trying to intimidate you for doing what's right, for saying what's right, for fighting for what's right, continue to fight for what's right, because anything that happens is going to go in your favor. Martin died because he was fighting for rights, human rights. He was not in the wrong. He was doing what was right morally. And even though they killed him, we all know who he is today. We all know who he is. He has his own day on the calendar. He get taught in every history class. He made his impact. He did what he was supposed to do. Just like Jesus. They kill him for fighting for what was right, for saying and speaking what was morally right. He did his job. He did what he was supposed to do, and the world killed him. But death is never just death. Death is always rebirth. So, like I said, fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. We're all going to die one day. And you should rather die doing something good and worthwhile than to die in remorse and regret in a lower spirituality, a lower realm in hell. To where when you die, your soul is so heavy from all of the bad things that you've been through, all the bad things that you've done. No, because all of the bad things that you went through, to lighten your soul from that, you were supposed to learn your experience and gain a higher consciousness. Lift it up. Your soul got lighter. And if you was doing that, then you should never have done anything bad to anybody else. You should not have done anything bad and morally. And if you did, you were supposed to repent for it. And then your soul was light. When it's light, it goes higher. When it's lighter, it goes higher. It's called enlightenment. Taking something to the grave, that's weighing you down. So if you're going down, that's lower. That's the lower pits of hell. I know I just look crazy for this video, but it's okay. Because I just woke up. I woke up at 6. I woke up with the sun. Me and the sun was rising at the same time. Grand rising. And September is going to be an amazing month for me. And for all the other amazing souls out there that are evolving. Because time is an illusion, but the visualization that they had when they created the watch and the time and the clock, the visualization that they was trying to embody still exists. and that is evolution. And if we are elevating at the same speed that the world is trying to elevate, we are okay. Everything will be okay. As long as we're not following behind, everything will be fine. And generational curse breakers of families, of course your family is going to go against you because they didn't do the things that you have to do for this family, and the things you have to do to break away from the bad seeds and the bad habits and the bad rituals of the family that you were born into. All of the things that you're breaking loose of, they were a part of it. And that is exactly why they're not for your evolution. They're not going to be there unless they willingly, once they see you, unless they willingly follow after your lead and elevate and evolve like you are. They are not going to come with you where you are going. Now they have that choice to elevate. It's never too late to elevate your soul. It's never too late to ask for forgiveness and repent and to do better. It's never too late unless you die. So if you're still living, you still have time. There's still things you're supposed to be doing. There's still lessons you're supposed to be learning, things you're supposed to be evolving from. There's no excuse. In the physical world and the system that it is of this 9-to-5 job, stuff like that, all that kind of stuff is man-made, and it's deterring people from evolving spiritually how we are supposed to be evolving spiritually. And that's exactly why COVID happened. And that's exactly why the next COVID part is going to happen as well. It's getting cold. Y'all don't feel them chills? It's getting cold. Guess what's going to happen when it gets cold? Lockdown. Shut down. Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to try to pressure people to go to work, pressure people to go do this and do that, because those humans are evil. They know nothing about soul evolution. And if they do, then they're even more evil, and they're going to get what's coming to them, because they know that isolation and that mental health and being able to focus on what you are trying to focus on is important for that period of time during elevation. Now, are we the people going to be strong enough to go against the wrongdoers of this world when it's time? I am. I know I am. This world ain't offering. The world, the way it is not offering anything. Nothing. And that's exactly why we're on a global reset. But yeah, so I'm going to stop this video because it's already at an hour and stuff. But if you got to the end of this video, go search up angel number 718. And specifically, go to the article on Google. Go to the article where it's telling you what it means, which means it's going to tell you the energies, the vibrations, and the attributes of the number. 718. Thank you for watching this video. If you got to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I promise you I do. Let's evolve.